Hey everybody, behind the scene vlog today. Yay. So what are we talking about in here?
We have a couple of schnauzers that we are allowing to get families, and so Carol was just going over AKC paperwork with us.
Yes, tell us about that, Carol. We don't always do that, right? But when we do.
We don't do that very often, but sometimes to get our beautiful doodles, we have to start with some purebred parents. And so occasionally we have some born that we do not necessarily need in our breeding program. So we release them to the public, and they are outstanding dogs, and they do come with AKC registration.
Yay! See, why don't our Goldendoodles come with AKC registration?
Because at present time, Goldendoodles and Schnoodles are neither recognized AKC breeds. At this point, there's not a breed standard quite yet. They're fairly new, and so since they're not AKC recognized yet, they are not registerable with the American Kennel Club.
But we're working on that.
We are working on that.
Right, yes, we are. We're working on that. All right, so we have some other good news today, right?
We do have some very exciting news.
So we got guests?
We do. We have some guests that are coming to visit our facility and enlighten us on new medical protocols specifically for our puppies.
Carol, does that mean that our medical protocol is going to change?
Possibly. Our medical protocol stays absolutely current and with the newest and most recent information out there on what's best for puppy immune systems for good healthy puppies based on how bugs and diseases change. So just like the flu vaccine for people changes every year, dog vaccines change, and the way that they need to be given changes very frequently. And so we try to stay up to date with that. So we have a vet coming out to talk to us today to go over all the latest information.
Well, you know, I did kind of step into this conversation. You know, we've had some questions about our health records that we send home, and it's funny because we deal with 50 states and other countries and vets all over the world, and every vet has an opinion. And we have one of the best vets. We actually work with a team of vets here, several vets. We have Dr. Cordy, our most dearest vet that we've been dealing with for years and years. And then he's referred us over to Dr. Myers and his group whenever he had things that were really outside of his realm of knowledge, right?
And even Dr. Myers and his team, they recognize that they work locally, but the vet that's coming in to talk to us today is actually a board certified vet who this is his area of specialty. This is what he does. He's the one that writes up vaccine protocols. He's the one that makes recommendations to the vaccine companies. He's the one that goes over deworming protocols. He's the one that talks about what Giardia is, how it affects, what coccidia is, how to treat it. He's the one that works on that. That's his specialty, and he's the one that's communicating to your vet about what the latest and best information is. And so he is actually coming out, he's gonna tour our facility, and he's gonna make recommendations specific to our climate, our area, and our puppy's needs and your needs.
Yeah, because I've noticed over the years that the vaccinations that we were using, the deworming protocols, things, we went through a phase where it doesn't work. So just basic common parasites, things that you hate to say that, but puppies, they come in contact with protozoans and parasites and things, and we have just our medications that we've used for years, and now all of a sudden those aren't working.
Yeah, and a lot of our clients were finding the same thing. They get a puppy home, and the medications that their vet typically would recommend isn't working. But a lot of times our vets learn what they learn when they're in vet school. Right. They don't necessarily get that latest update on exactly what it is.
I mean, they have continuing education hours, but they might not get them in infection control and in disease, things like that. So let's talk just a minute about like our most common issues. I know in the South we have Giardia and coccidia, worms. I mean, you know, that's in the soil. Talk to them about those things, especially Giardia and coccidia. Just take a minute. I don't want to bore you, but it is something that is interesting and you need to know.
So we're in agricultural zone AB, which means we have less than 14 days of frost on the ground per year. Our ground never gets cold enough to actually kill everything. Most other climates, the ground gets cold enough to actually kill off Giardia, coccidia, the intestinal parasites. Because it never gets cold enough here to kill it, it means that ours have a chance to to survive year after year and make modifications and evolve beyond what medication can do. In climates where you have a major kill off because it got cold, you get new stuff every year, but the medications still work for that.
Right.
That's why here in Alabama, the bugs that we have here, we have to treat them a little bit differently than what you do in other parts of the country.
And that's why our medical protocol sometimes will be different, and your vet will go, well, that's just not the way you treat this. And that's why we have our vet that will get on the phone with your vet and explain to them why we do it a different way, why we might extend it, why we might deworm every 10 days versus every 14 days because of the life cycle of the worm. Explain that to them.
So each different intestinal parasite has a different life cycle. And so what the life cycle means is there's a point when your puppy comes in contact with an egg, swallows it until that becomes an adult, and then is shedding eggs. It is kind of gross. And so each worm has a different life cycle. Some of those are 3 weeks from the time they come in contact with it till they're shedding eggs into the environment. Some are as fast as 10 days, some are 6 weeks. So we have to adjust our protocol based on what those worms' life cycles are, because we are targeting that life cycle. So those adult worms are never able to shed and release eggs back out into the environment.
And you know, coming from a dental background, first nursing and then dentistry, I'm always coming from the preventative mindset, like treat and prevent. And that is good. Preventative is good, but sometimes you can over-treat. But me, I'm a little OCD about worms and parasites and things. And so even sometimes in our attempt to cover our puppy for everything, we can affect their immune system.
Absolutely.
And so we're working with these new vets to understand the immune system and how it works. And you know, it goes back to simple is better, not, you know, more is not better. It's
really cool that you said that, because I actually last week had a conversation with a client about Giardia, and this was actually her comment. Her comment was, if you feel like the puppies might come in contact with Giardia, why don't you just give the medication and treat all the way through and send the puppies home with 10 days of medication? Well, my comment to that was, well, the potential is there then, especially if your puppy, you know, if we start that very early on, your puppy might be on a medication for an extended period of time. Those medications have side effects. Mm-hmm. Those medications have things. And at the end of the day, if we keep puppies on medication like that all the time, it prevents their immune system from learning to get past these things that their immune system should fight off on their own, like Giardia and coccidia.
But the mama bear in me just wants to do that. Keep them on it all the time, don't let them get anything. But I know they have to come in contact with that. And our puppies are cage free. They're not in cages all day. They're not, you know, kept in this sterile environment so much that they can't touch the ground. They've got to go out at least one time to get their pictures. They've got to come in contact with the outside world. When they go to prep school, they've got to learn. I mean, so you know.
Another side to that is, bottom line is, statistics and research shows a dog is more likely in the United States to lose its life because of a behavioral issue than intestinal parasites and bugs.
They're common.
And bottom line is, socialization is just too important. Those things are so common, medication is so good, your puppy having a healthy immune system will fight it off, but missing out on that socialization, you can't get that back. And then that can lead to behavioral issues later on that really, really can cost puppies their home way more often than Giardia or coccidia or things like that. So mental health is just
I'd love for us to sit down and break it down, like what are these puppy diseases that we vaccinate for? Just like children, we get all these vaccinations, and a lot of times I don't even really know what I'm vaccinating. I'm just like, we're doing it. And I know that you guys feel that way with puppies and puppyhood. You want to understand, you know, what is this that we're fighting? Why are we vaccinating? And we will sit down and we'll go through that. But the most common things, being in the South, the Giardia, because of the rain, you get it from standing water. And it's not typically the Giardia that you go to like a country and get Giardia, like the human type, you know.
Correct. It's species specific. So Giardia, if your dog has Giardia, odds are you're not going to get it.
But years ago, if you Googled the original when the internet launched, what they said, oh yes, clean your yard. It's, oh my gosh. You know, we've been doing this for 20 plus years. I've ran into that so many times and never had Giardia. My vets have never had Giardia. They're like, so I finally called Auburn one day and I just had to know, because I had a client just upset and they were like, no, the newest findings are that it is It is breed specific, pretty much.
Right,
know.
species specific.
Yeah.
Species specific.
Not breed, species. Well, our breed is the human breed, right? And then Cock City is from birds, you know.
It is.
You know, birds fly. Oh, we have everywhere birds. You know, birds. Actually, Meredith loves birds, and we had a birdhouse. And one of our vets came and said, "Birdhouse needs to go." We loved it. We were feeding the birds. They were up there swarming because they kill mosquitoes.
They do. All God's creatures.
We love them all, you know.
And you know, actually, one of the areas that is most prevalent for coccidia is cities because of pigeons.
Oh yeah, you guys got to watch out for those pigeons in New York. I mean, everywhere I went, they were there, right? Don't let your dogs lick it because you know they want to. So anyway, this is just a little information. So today we're going to see the doctors when they arrive, the vets, and they're going to go on a tour.
Yes.
And they're bringing us lunch. It's going to be good.
Plus.
Yes, at the estate. So we're going to have a fun day. And you know, I always tell you guys, we can't do tours in the nursery. We can't walk through in the nursery because we just can't parade people all day, every day. But when it is needed, something like this, and we want to be better. We want to do whatever we can. We're going to take a team of vets. We're going to be wide open and vulnerable here. And I'll tell you, there's not many breeders in America that will invite this kind of audience, this kind of team of people into their facility and just say, free reign, take a look. If you see anything we're doing good, tell us. If you see anything we could do better, please tell us. Because you can't find rules and regulations for this kind of thing. I think they're trying to create that kind of thing in America, the Department of Agriculture. But right now there's no rules, no regulations, but we want to set our rules and regulations for ourselves. We want somebody to answer to.
Well, and I think the uniqueness about our facility is that we have the opportunity to be the standard.
Yeah.
But we have to do that with these professionals coming in. So us being wide open today is just going to take us to much greater places, and we will be the standard
I'm
across the
excited.
U.S.
I'm very excited, not nervous a bit, because I know that when they see what we've got going on, they're gonna be blown away, just like you would. All right, so got more to show you.
Because I don't want to mess up.
Well, you better introduce him.
Okay. Oh, this is Dr. Carl Myers.
Yes.
He is our vet. This is Paul.
Hey, Paul. Okay, you're in the dark. Right-hand man, Paul. Okay.
Dr. Myers. This is Dr. Gray.
Okay.
And this is Jeffrey Bruce.
Okay.
Dr. Ray, you can tell them more about it. He worked at Mississippi State, taught school there, and now he works for BI.
I'm consultant in infectious disease.
Okay.
BI is bearing ring behind.
Awesome. Well, we do a vlog every week, several times. We have a lot of followers, and they watch everything we do, and it's all impromptu. There's nothing that we plan. We just show up, and they're used to that. So they heard you guys were coming. So I said that I would grab, a little bit of footage and show them that you really were coming and going through the facility. So I might just be tagging along.
Sure.
Okay.
So, and then on your other question is, these villas we also do occasionally use for outside dogs for boarding. So this isn't like a clean, not anything exposed to a kind of area. We do use these villas for boarding occasionally, and when we purchase new dogs. So like Charming that you see in here, he's been here now long enough that we know he's okay. But he arrived about a month ago. Well, when he came with his brother and then 2 other dogs, they were in here for a little bit to monitor and watch them before we let them go out with the other dogs. Just as a
cleaning protocol for these?
Okay, so these rooms, Angela comes through, and Holly, you actually do the cleaning. Oh, this is Holly. She's our vet tech up here. Holly does the cleaning in here for the villas and all. So I'm not going to tell you what I think they're doing. I'm going to let her tell you what she's actually doing.
With the cages, we pull them out, power wash them outside, clean the inside with, I first go over it with chlorhexidine, and then I go back over it with an Odovan to wipe out the insides. I let them set and let them dry. And typically I'll put the puppies in the playpens, let them play while I'm cleaning, and then I'll put them back up. The same thing with the villas. Scrub the walls down with the chlorhexidine and then go back over it with an Odovan. The floors are done with And then I use the Oda band as well for the floors and mop.
So your choice in chlorhexidine, why do y'all use chlorhexidine? How much chlorhexidine do you use per?
We use the 1 ounce per gallon in the mop. And that's what we use to clean. Now that one was clean this morning, but I just pulled the puppies out because they pottied in there and have it re-cleaned.
So one of the things that always is a challenge is cleaning these cages with a lot of surface area on this. How do you be able to get them?
These doors come off,
Okay.
so we take them outside and power wash them. And then I'll spray them down with the Chlorhex, wipe them down after I've power washed them, and then go back over with an Odo band.
Okay.
And then we do that with these two.
Yeah, everything goes outside to be power washed.
So disinfectants really need about 10 minutes of contact time.
Okay.
So how, y'all may be doing that, how do y'all do that? Is there, my thought is there a bath that you can put these in, leave them here for 10 minutes, let them have their contact time, and then take them out?
Typically what we do is we spray it on and let it air dry.
Okay.
With the chlorhexidine, I always wipe off, but with the Odo band, I just spray it on and give it time.
Okay.
And that's what I do with the inside, spray it on, walk away, go do something, and then come back.
And so same as the floors, we use a similar solution for mopping, and then we just let the floors air dry. Okay?
How do y'all deal with the grout? With the
Scrub
grout?
brushes. We actually have like those longer handled, heavy duty scrub brushes, so you get in there and deal with that.
And Angela does, she gets the grout every weekend and every day she comes in. I have her in here she usually gets here about 6 o'clock, and I'm usually here at 8, she's still cleaning.
That's one of the suggestions I could make is what I was told when I was in my practice. So I got tile too, is I use porcelain tile, you don't have to slap pores, and also use pots of ground, which is not pores.
We've gone to this type of floor in a lot of our areas, which is like this laminate that seals, and this is working really well in a lot of our areas. Mopping protocol where she mops the floor. You're going to see this tray in a lot of places that we go. We work on this with our puppies very, very early on. Our puppies do use this tray very consistently with going potty. We start that as soon as we pull the moms out of the runs. We put a tray like that in with the puppies in the run.
Actually, I've been putting it in with them 3 weeks old. The puppies that are wobbling onto it now.
It's pretty amazing. These little puppies, being that small, knows to get on that little thing and go pee and poo.
So you see in here on the floor, typically you would have puppies at this age pooping and peeing everywhere, but you can see they've walked over and gone on the tray. And so this is where she kind of works with this litter.
They're so stinking smart.
This is kind of a cool litter too. So this is basic treatment area. This is kind of Katie's station with the computer where she takes notes, medical supplies in here, refrigerator. This is where Katie was saying the centrifuge we have is at here. That's the kind that we have, that we found.
That's not a swing arm.
We just need to get a new one. Yeah, that's an older version.
So just doing vehicles, I'm not doing vehicles, you know.
So up here we have different communication notes and everything. This is kind of the point of entry. People come in, they clock in, they check the notes for the day. And then we have a staff member assigned to each area. So as we go to the areas, you'll notice that they're color coded. We have a blue area, a peach area, a white area. Their schedule is color coded. That's your area you're assigned to. You're really only allowed to go in other areas in the event of something is happening and they need help. We do have a medical team member that's also here for help. So like last week we had a mom in labor and she was having puppies 5 minutes apart. There's no way for one staff member to deal with that. So called in, get a helper for that. And so that's what we have them here for.
So what about 3 in the morning?
We have the same thing. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. So during the day, we have more cleaners on hand, but we have during the day, which means from 7 to 4, we have 4 cleaners, 1 in blue, white, peach, and green, and 2 medical team members, and that's in addition to all the other staff that you've seen. Starting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we have 5 people here till 1 a.m., and then at 1 a.m. until about 6 a.m., we have 2 people here all night long. So there's a 4-hour span where we've got 2 people here monitoring moms, puppies, everything that's going on with them. Okay. The white room is never left unattended. That's kind of a hard rule for us. There's always somebody in that room. So this room is pregnant moms and weaning moms. You sure can. And the only reason we haven't gone in there yet is as soon as we walk in and they hear new voices, they're gonna start barking. So the white room is moms that are about to labor or have just labored, and it's typically up to about 3 to 4 weeks old.
So these are, I'm assuming, dams that are owned by you, that y'all.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody here.
And so y'all's vaccine protocols, when are they bred twice a year, once a year, how?
It depends on the individual female. Typically, if she's healthy and everything's good, we do twice a year. If she cycles twice a year.
Okay.
If she had problems with a previous breeding or a litter, we might skip a heat cycle. It just kind of depends on the mom. But typically, healthy moms twice a year.
And then they stay in it for like 4 years and then they're pretty much retired.
Okay. So the vaccination protocols for your dams, when are they vaccinated? I'm assuming you know to the date when
Yeah, we do.
to eat, or you
Yeah.
synchronize with one of the two. So when are they vaccinated before all?
They're vaccinated once a year because a lot of our dams are born here, and so they're vaccinated once a year just based on when they're due. And now, a lot of times what ends up happening is they'll be pregnant at the time that they're due, and so we end up then bumping it until the puppies are 8 weeks old. And so as soon as the puppies are weaned, they get vaccinated at that point.
If they miss.
Okay, so this is on every board, just marks mom, dad, size, watch dates are a week before the due date, and then first due date. This is puppy count once they're born. We do have an ultrasound machine. It's not the best, but when we do ultrasounds, we'll put a count on there that you can see, and then the date of birth. All that changes once the puppies are born. Each dog has a file. Each litter has a file. So when you look at here, this is basically for now, they were on, remember, we're transitioning from one protocol to another. So we had an outline KO mixture that puppies were getting right after they were born, just to kind of coccidia prevention and just coating the GI tract protection. And so this is, it's noted, it's not even.
They were Cabana Green.
They're almost fabulous.
We haven't seen it yet. Now, also, just another note, protocol here. Every litter of 6 puppies or more from birth up until 2 weeks of age automatically do supplement feedings anytime there's a litter of 6 or more. Now that can cause constipation, we've noticed. So we can mix it with goat milk and not get that problem. Anyway, all the litters are weighed up until 2 weeks old. They are weighed 3 times a day. Once they're 2 weeks old, they're weighed twice a day. But all puppies are weighed. Highlight anytime there's a weight loss. Automatically, if there's weight loss, come back and bottle feed that puppy just to make sure it's growing and doing fine. This is the history of the weights and all from here. Here is the puppy's vaccine protocol, and it's highlighting what's done, initial off, what's done when. And so at each week, fecal was negative. This was given on that day, initial off. So on the 19th, these puppies will be 3 weeks old. This is what's given, fecal results now. So just always. This is puppy's daily average weight. We track that because sometimes we get little dips and valleys. So this is just to make sure they're trending in the right direction. These are basic notes. So this is like what goes on with mom. You know, puppies a bath, they were gross. Puppies pus-colored poop. Use face on red, where it might be off, but that might be exactly what you're talking about here. This was the moms. Starting on watch dates, we take 3 time a day temps, looking for that temperature drop. And then post-delivery, we track temperatures again 3 times a day for 5 days.
Thinking about your life. At some point, maybe. They're gonna have to do the rest of their life. Yeah, I mean, it's just slow behavioral training or touching the rear end with the feet or whatever.
It'd be really, that's part of like Sierra, part of what she does is socialization, good and appropriate handling. She works on manipulating their toes, manipulating their mouth, like who brush their teeth. It would be real easy to say to Sierra, hey, once a day, take the puppy temp.
You can add that. You don't have to take the tip. Touching their anus and the tree. And at some point, they'll flip the tail up.
Sure.
The veterinarians will see you from
So anyway, that's kind of the basic chart. Oh yeah. But they'll understand where it came from.
It's a big plus for come out.
Yeah, it is. So I didn't show when we walked through, but This is the potty care for this area. There's a washer and dryer out here that is a washer and dryer for this area, only for this. And also out here is, and you see where they can hang up the grate. That's where the puppies have potty tins. They have where they can hang it, spray it, let it sit, spray it with disinfectant, let it sit. There's also a separate sink out there for washing dishes and doing all that while I'm here in this area, for this area.
It'd be pretty simple for them to.
So we have moms that are probably up like this. So we have roofs on their kennels so that they do not run up. Moms are getting up, jumping up, and stepping back down. But like the size of this litter, if she jumps up to large, she's not going to remove it. This is puppy count once they're born. We do have an ultrasound machine. It's not the best, but when we do ultrasounds, we'll put a count on there that we can see. And then the date of birth, all that changes once the puppies are born. Each dog has a file, each litter has a file. So when you look in here, this is basically, for now, they were on, remember we're transitioning from one protocol to another. So we had an outline take mixture that puppies were getting right after they were born, just to kind of toxicity of prevention and just coating the GI tract protection. And so this is, it's noted, it's not even.
They were Cabana Green.
They're almost fabulous.
We haven't seen it. Yeah, they are weighed 3 times a day. Once they're 2 weeks old, they're weighed twice a day. But all puppies are weighed. Highlight anytime there's a weight loss. Automatically, if there's weight loss, come back and bottle feed that puppy just to make sure it's growing and doing fine. This is the history of the weights and all from here. Here is the puppy's vaccine protocol, and it's highlighting what's done, initial off, what's done when. And so at each week, fecal was negative. This was given on that day, initial off. So on the 19th, these puppies will be 3 weeks old. This is what's given, fecal results. So just always, so this is like what goes on with mom, give puppies a bath, they were gross. Puppies, pus-colored poop, use paste on red, where it might be off, but that might be exactly what you're talking about there. This was the moms. Starting on watch dates, we take 3 times a day temps, looking for that temperature drop. And then post-delivery, we track temperatures again 3 times a day for 5 days. You see them in there, they'll sit and watch you and watch what's going on, so they get a better feel for it.
But this morning was the first time I actually let them out of the run, and they all ran back to get right back in it. They'll do that the first 2 or 3 times, and then you can't keep them in it once.
We are going to be meeting with our medical team, Katie, Sarah, Holly, Carol, myself, Michelle, and Meredith. We're all going to be here, and they're going to just go over everything. And they're just going to give us some recommendations for our vaccination protocols and how we sanitize and keep everything in infection control, because things like that really matter to us. And this is the cutting edge as far as what we need to know. And so we just love to open ourselves up so that we can be the best that we can be for our puppies. Looks like we are going to be discussing essential facts for infectious disease control. Interesting. These are topics that we have to know about here at Smeraglia, and we are about to have us a presentation and learn all about infection and disease control. Did y'all notice my mind went blank? I went like,
All about
what just happened? It's the infection and what did I just say?
All about infection.
All about infection and disease control. Are you going to be teaching us about infection and disease control?
Potentially.
Okay, we are going to learn. We're going to listen.
I can only offer it up.
All right.
My name is Jeffrey Bruce. I also work for Barry Ringelheim. And I'm going to let Jody kind of give you all of his credentials because it's too long to list on this one.
Yeah, do it.
I'm just a veterinarian.
He's more than just that. But he wasn't, he's not going to say, he was in general practice when he got out of vet school in Memphis. Once he left there, he went into Mississippi State. He was at Mississippi State Vet School for 7 years until Barry Ringelheim hired him away about 4 years ago and took him out into the field, basically working with veterinarians throughout Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee.
Pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
About 9 states.
Okay.
Good deal. Well, we're excited. We appreciate y'all for coming and we're excited about what we're gonna learn. We had a really great time today with our guest, and as you know, we've already introduced them, but we're winding it up now, and we've learned a lot, and we're going to be implementing a lot of that into our medical protocol and how we handle our cleaning and disinfectants and everything like that. But when we were just talking a few minutes ago, they were telling us how they don't get this opportunity very often, and I said, you know, I wanted you to go in and explain to them why we don't let them in here. Just a second, you know, like
y'all were saying,
you'll verify that we don't let everybody that comes to visit go through our nursery and our facility. That's a good idea, but we did let you. And
you want to limit the number of people that come into a place for infectious disease control. So it's a good practice to limit the number of people that go through everybody.
And so that's it.
I think it's smart.
And we're not hiding anything, right?
Not a thing.
We let you see everything.
My knowledge, yes.
We took him everywhere. And you said you don't often have this opportunity. Most people don't let you in their facilities, right?
Most people are kind of hesitant, but y'all are, I hope you had your doors open.
That's good. And this is your second time, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right. So anyway, yeah.
Doing most everything right, so we're very impressed. So.
We're learning a lot. We're going to be implementing a lot, but we just wanted to let you guys in on this little vlog today and hope you enjoyed it. Bye.